Uh, like it's way afternoon. I got a totally different schedule than this. Third shift schedule, but it's my morning. Good morning. Hope it hurts. When I used to wake up and hear the traffic, it's amazing when you finally decide not to hear the traffic anymore and just hear the pretty birds as you can. Super pretty birds. I felt like I got like 11 different kind of birds out there, including a hawk. He is the noisiest hawk I've ever met. But I love his little face out. I'm out of stage and stuff until I go running errands later. I'm the worst for getting out of the house lately. But we're gonna do that today. I'm gonna do it. I love you guys. I'm gonna run through a few channels and work on some art.
Ignorance. Have you ever wondered why you have these strong feelings? The way you can feel sad, happy, lonely, resentful. All of these feelings, they are important. It's to say, you cannot live without feeling. That is something we cannot stress enough. Some of you take pleasure in the fact that you are emotionless. This won't work for much longer because you'll discover that what you're doing and what you're proud of will be your undoing. You may believe that you and your parents have sorted things out. It would be more appropriate to state that you've had the maximum amount of vision available at any one moment. You get a wider vision when you do body work or crystal work, or when you make any type of journey to higher grounds. Stone is used to store and write information. Bone is also used to store and write information. That is why it's important to deal with the skeletal structure, since it contains much of your life experiences. Allow things to come out and don't rate yourself for thinking you were done with particular situations. Let's say, this is fantastic. There's more where it came from. It is fantastic. Use the experience as if you're uncovering a gold mine, or as if you've just been born into a rich family. All you have to go through is what you would want to go through. You have no idea how much you're clearing. You are not just opening doors of awareness for yourself, but also for the globe. The good news is that you're cleaning up the easy things right now, and some of the hard things and strange things will come later, when you'll be so unconcerned about it that it won't matter. Everything occurs at its own pace. The evolution or plugging in of internal data to external data is the mutation that is taking place. All of the emotional bodies you've been afraid to use are being accessed as part of the cleaning process. In order to comprehend your spiritual body, you must first access your emotional body. As previously said, the cerebral and physical bodies work in tandem, whereas the emotional and spiritual bodies work in tandem. Because the spiritual body is non-physical domain, you must utilize your emotions to access the whole non-physical realm. Humans have a tendency to get so engrossed in their personal dramas that they become lost in the process of digesting. Processing has the potential to become a way of life. This is ineffective. It's not the case. It's cool to be processing all the time and tell people, don't contact me, I'm processing. I'm buried in my paperwork. I am at a loss for words. Yes, your personal sagas must be investigated. Yes, your own tragedies provide you with a feast of food. But consume the meal, go on with your life, and prepare another feast. Stop hanging on these treasures from your past and being afraid that if you address these difficulties, nothing amazing will ever happen. It's important to put processing into context. The human body is always developing and evolving. It may think that it requires a certain dietary mix because you've educated it so. However, at this point, you should try to forget all that you've learned. You'll pay attention to your body and allow it to tell you what it means. We're guessing that many of you have modified your eating habits in the recent year. You can no longer eat what you used to consume because the vibrations in some foods are so strong that they have become incompatible with yours. Cattle, pig, and chickens are not given food in the meat business as we know it. They live in cramped quarters, and many of them never see daylight. Because they reside in layers of little metal cages, many of them defecate on top of one another. This is how they've been brought up. Steroids and antibiotics are given to them instead of food. They were not reared in a loving environment. They are not slain with affection when they are transported to be slaughtered. As a result, you're consuming this vibration. Keep in mind that everything is made out of vibration. Animals were created to be your friends, to live on the land with you, and to feed and shelter you if required. This was supposed to be done out of love. It's great if you live on a farm and grow your own chickens and pigs, give them nutritious food, and butcher them with compassion and love. You provide animals with a high quality of life, and the animals, in turn, recycle themselves to provide you with love and high quality of life. That is the perfect situation. For a long time, it was the reality on our planet. This isn't the case anymore. Be conscious of the vibrations that exists inside things. Allow your body to speak for itself. Allow yourself to be open to change, since your body will move away from particular foods as it tries to elevate its vibration and produce a light body. Make the intention that you want to improve your diet, and make the intention that things will come to you. We repeatedly underline that you are much more than physical creatures. You live in several universes and have a plethora of advisors. As a result, every one of you must become more specific in your aims. So state, what is it that I desire? I want to progress. I want to alter my eating habits. I want to have a stronger intuition. Make it clear what you want to achieve. The phrases I want to use are really powerful. True health would include the activation of full brain capacity by 12 entirely mutated and developed helixes inside the body. The 12 helixes will take some time to fully activate, but they may begin to be connected in the now. Some of you may have noticed that they are plugged in but not turned on. When they're turned on, the whole brain is activated, and you're a genius because you're the host of the living library and you know everything. You are telepathic and can accomplish everything. You have the card that grants you access to any kind of data stored anywhere in the earth. There will come a time, a moment, when you won't need to look for knowledge anywhere else. We and others like us have arrived to trigger you, collect you up, bring you together, and group you into clusters so that you may reflect off each other and charge each other electromagnetically. When we collaborate with you, we produce light sparks that enable doors to open. You vibrate at a pace that affects everyone around you when these openings arise inside you. As always, we love you deeply and wish for you to have the most abundant and joyous life possible. Have a wonderful day.
I feel the weight behind my eyes, lean towards the color that lies within. Right in between you and I, stay right there under my skin. I've been waiting. There's no fault lines to crack and leave me aching. Thinking on the phone, how it leaves me alone. But it's something that my never comes, so I'll be waiting here in your arms. There was a silence deep inside.
Hello, my dearly beloveds. I will speak about what is going on. A long time ago, there was a natural rhythm, and now this time, following the exact same timeline, there are inflicting parts in this timeline that makes it tremble and not so strong anymore. A timeline is a living being. Time is an element. If you love time, you will help it. You will heal time with your love. There are many timelines, of course, and no matter which one you are in, you will learn something important. The natural way is the love way. All that is not of love will make a timeline tremble and wither and slowly dissolve. You have a personal timeline and also according to what you want to achieve here on Earth. A stone has its own timeline where it is laying on a beach where the waves makes it a little smoother for each wave. A mountain has its own timeline. As it stands high after being created for a long time, it will slowly in its own time become smaller and more rounded, and eventually it will be little stone pebbles on a beach somewhere. It is all about time. An ant has its own timeline. A lion has its own timeline. A turtle. A tree has its own timeline, and it looks totally different from an animal's or a mountain or a little stone on a beach. A tree actually holds time. A tree holds information, like a living book, a library. A tree holds water that is so precious. You hold water as well. You are also a holder of a timeline, your own unique one. You are also a library. You carry it in your DNA of your body, but it is connected with your soul, and it merges together with the ray of love. So please believe in the importance of love. Don't chop down a tree. Let it live. It stores wisdom for you. Trees are antennas also in contact with the surrounding universe. It is never just a tree, just a bush, or just a Christmas tree. Love it and keep it alive. Do it in another way. Respect the life it has. Love it. Love yourself and your special code you carry. You all have special unique codes that you are here to use and spread your love with. For each sunset and each sunrise, your codes are being renewed, as each new day is newborn and has never existed before. You live in a planetarium and everything hangs together, creating a song, your special melody. And I can hear all of your tones making the most incredible music. The more you love your code and your tune, the more pleasant for the ear and heart to listen to, but all in good time, as all is about learning. All is about learning to allow yourself to be, to fully accept yourself as a love being no matter what you go through in your life. I was young too in my life once upon a time, and my tune was not so beautiful to listen to at first. The more I practiced on my tune and learned myself about me, who I am, then I could play my tune in my special way, the unique happy way, as I finally understood myself. No one else can know who you are but you. You play your tune, as only you can. See yourself as an instrument. First you don't even see it, and understand it is there. Then you observe it, you discover it, but you don't know what it is for. Then after a long time you pick it up and examine it, and you try to figure out what it is, and you have to learn very slowly about it as it is yourself. Then you will find your joy in it, beginning to play on your instrument, and the more you are relaxed and having faith to your own abilities to explore yourself, you more and more let go of prefabricated ideas about how everything must be done. There are no rule book. There are no exact lessons to learn who you are. The truth is there is just your own love and devotion to yourself. You are a light worker, a love worker on earth. You have all the uniqueness, as no one is exactly the same. You have your timeline and your codes and your tune and melody. So cheer up and have fun. Make your own life into a lover's delight, and don't worry so much. You know that worries and fears and other emotions are clouding your sky. What you direct your attention to will grow. So go into the love and stay there, and then it will grow. It is your own choice. I am with you if you need me, and you can ask me any question whenever you like. I love you. Michael. Channel, Kirsten Erickson. The April full moon emerges powerfully, spreading its energy in great waves across the earth. This is the higher light of emotional intelligence. These waves sometimes resonate very high and then more infrequently in the emotional layer. This causes some unexpected movements in the emotional energy. The manifestation force moves through it at an accelerated rate, and this sometimes causes some hiccups. This major transformation causes some tension in the emotional body. The capacity for empathy becomes stronger and the empathic stimuli gain greater range. Finding the emotional balance. Your balance is put to the test as special emotional waves begin to emerge. Those connected to an old karma notice an emotional change in relationships. Letting go of karma becomes difficult when thinking in an old way. The karma is an old way of experiencing that no longer fits into the new higher sense of oneness. Accelerations of energy occur in the lines of connection or the emotions cross and dissolve when the change in your system increases emotional intelligence. Maintain a good balance. When emotions go very deep, panic can occur. Emotional intelligence. Those who live much from the head are washed clean by the many emotions they are allowed to live through again, but in a deeper layer. In addition, those who work through the emotional intelligence become extra attuned. This attunement is necessary because the emotional intelligence is going to be heightened. You get access to a wider range of emotional possibilities, because that is where great gifts lie hidden. The knowledge associated with this comes from the unity energy, the Christ consciousness. In this, the outside world forms the many mirrors that will reflect your emotional energy, allowing you to make a super fast connection with the others around you, especially with those with whom you have a deep connection. Hazy feeling. A fuzzy feeling can occur when the lines are reset between you and a loved one. These are very special lines of connection that have triggered a lot and carry trauma. At that time, take rest and do not panic or call for help. This switch eventually brings about new loving connections from which a wonderful experience can grow that sometimes seems a bit unreal. Help is directed from the Christ consciousness, the loving oneness of God. Mother Earth helps. Mother Earth's cosmic intelligence is very active, and she created many kinds of life forms long ago through her love energy and emotional intelligence. Her planetary consciousness is connected to the great divine light. This is a huge consciousness of love which is always creating and is expressed in every spark of light. Earth is an emotional being. The deployment of emotional intelligence is now going to rise. As it raises in vibration, new creations will come to life. Panic, soothing calm and creation. From nature flows a soothing calmness that can calm emotions. This is not accidental. Here one makes the connection with the cosmic consciousness, which flows through Mother Earth. In everything she can be present with her loving energy. She is the mother who gives comfort. You feel this in nature and through the creative power in yourself, where the Christ energy helps to bring this all about. When many emotions start flowing through you, there may be some confusion. Realize that these emotional waves are sent to you from a loving embrace, thereby creating a direct conversion in the emotional brain. In the lines of connection between you, your loved one or neighbor, a magnetic force of pure oneness energy is created. When the changes in the emotional system become too much for you, they can burn out, panic and despair can arise. Know that this is the reversal of the present system of money and possession. Within you, this will be reversed. The emotional brain will be aligned many octaves higher. The present emotional brain is barely developed and becomes active primarily in fear, but this is changing. In previous periods, great preparations have been made to reset the mind to a higher sensitive human being. From average to high sensitive and super sensitive. The world is going to turn differently, and this is now becoming evident as everything is turning upside down. The rational brain cannot handle this renewal, and therefore a natural switch is made to the emotional brain. This switch is mostly very unreal, but rest assured it will be fine. Some who are connected to the old system may not always be able to make this switch. They lose track, but in spite of everything, the great wave of love moves in and will free each person in any difficult situation, so that the love energy is experienced in its depth whenever. Sometimes in the last hour of parting, but much more often when one is in full life. This love energy starts to resonate in the human being, stronger and stronger and stronger. Every minute of the day, every day of the month, but especially every solar year, this force grows greater. The universal human. From different groups, the universal human will be born with a wonderful range of gifts and talents. The emotional brain will become decisive and the rational brain will first be subordinated in it. Eventually man will be able to merge both parts into a beautiful wholeness consciousness. All this takes time. This is the year where the emotional intelligence rises and slowly buds for many new ideas. The universal outlook is expanded and further developed. Narrow mindedness is on its way out. Above all, enjoy everything around you and try to control the sporadic panic. The robe of fear is cast off, and this can also bring some despair. The feelings to replace the old fear proves not always easy. Unexpected situations, inner gaze. Panic and fear cause the force of manifestation to block or take a completely different course. When you notice this, go within and see what is needed. Also in matter now, what do you really need? What direction feels right, and will it still be tomorrow? Nothing is fixed. Everything is in motion, and within each hour or even within a minute it can be different again. Family and partnership. Use your feelers and listen carefully to who you are and what you need right now. Certain intense situations within the family, partner, or colleagues can make a deep wound, but in this great emotional change you can recover more quickly through the love light. Therefore, positive thoughts develop immediately. Quarrels do not last long. Dissatisfaction can also disappear in no time. Some material things you no longer need, these fall away. Rest assured, because another solution will come. Be flexible. Move with this rapid change so you don't get stuck all the time. Don't be angry or disappointed either, because it is part of this time of transformation. Confusion and forgetfulness may arise. Realize this and try to deal with it as calmly as possible. There are peak periods when this comes up more strongly. This will lessen again when balance is achieved. Deep emotions are touched, and this also creates some turmoil. Go through it from a calm place. You cannot do more than what is possible now. Stop fighting against what cannot be done and wait patiently for the new opening. Above all, look at what you can do, what door is already open. Making choices. Numerous choices can also be inhibiting. Reduce the choices that are outside your magnetic attraction and choose that which clicks right now. Realize that tomorrow could be different. Don't be rigid in holding on. Live in the moment and relieve yourself of an old burden and dream about magnetic revelations and manifest from flexibility. Create from a higher emotional intelligence and then see the numerous possibilities open up. Channel Arthur Hector.
Lost some glasses. Oh, is this one? Beautiful bird. That's why I sat it up there.
Good morning, starseeds. The heaven that does not have any end, nor a beginning. We are all one, and I feel as one of you. It is great day now on earth. Our dear Gaia is on her way up into her great light again. It is a holy day and a day of reverence. A great change is on its way in this path of the galaxy, and it will impact our whole galaxy. It is a day of joy and strength. There is much that will be healed now. There will be a better balance in the universe that you belongs to. There have been some imbalance at the outskirts of this galaxy, but this will be corrected now when Earth is taking its rightful place in this galaxy again. Earth is more than she has become, just like you, dear Earthlings. All the inhabitants of the galaxy are now waiting with great joy and eagerness for Earth's return, as well as all your friends and families. You are the object for great interest and engagement now, dear friends. The greatest that has ever been on this side of the galaxy. It is of great importance that our Earth now ascends. It is of utmost importance for this galaxy. This you will understand when you yourselves have ascended a bit in your vibration. It is a wondrous time that is awaiting you, dear Earthlings. Much more wondrous than you think. You are loved children that are walking on earth today, much longed for children of love. You ascend with your earth, your goddess and master. You cannot be in better hands, and you cannot be more loved than you already are. I am a big star in the sky, but you are also a big dear children on earth. You are magnificent and splendid. We can see this, but you still feel insignificant in comparison in the world you live in. It's an illusion. Everything is an illusion until the veil has been fully lifted from your mind. You are on your way out of the illusion now, dear children, on earth, and it can sometimes be hard to wake up from one's deep sleep. It can be as being born again with the pain and trauma that this can cause. This, as everything else will pass, never experience of more beautiful kind knocks on the door. I am Sirius, the star, and watch over you now and send a little extra light to where I can see it ascending. There are many from my star mingling among you now. They raise the vibration on Earth and make it easier for Mother Earth to sense to have higher vibration. She has fought courageously our Earth, the Earth that you call Gaia. She is brave soul, and she has much love for you and all life that exists on Earth. In her great love, she has made great sacrifices, but now it is time for her to return home. Her light has grown thousandfold, and it is a great honor to get to help her during her last journey to the light where she belongs and where her rightful place is. I feel a great love for Earth and for you, dear children. The joy I feel in anticipation of the wonderful that is now happening has no limits or words. It just is magnificent, wonderful, fantastic, and holy. Yes, holy, dear children, and it can be only experienced within yourselves. I am sending the light you need in order to heal your wounds now, dear children. The time is ripe for a bigger light in your hearts. Sirius, the star. You know the only way to continue on this journey is to follow the love and truth of your heart. I come to you today. I come to speak to thee, to have you feel my embrace and my love. I come to have you see me or perceive me in whichever way you want. Though you have to know by now that I and always have been with you. There are times when you need some visible or tangible signs of my presence, And I do understand this, dear heart, because being in human form and going through all these rapid changes and adjustments, which are sometimes quite uncomfortable, and at the same time having to face your ego's attempts to confuse you and persuade you to give up, well, this is not an easy task. And so, I am here, my beloved children, to congratulate you for your recent advancements and achievements. I am here to show you that you have grown up and matured so much, and I do want to take this moment to embrace you and to hold you in my arms and place you into my heart so you can feel my love and appreciation. And this is just as a mother is holding and hugging her adult children with love and adoration regardless of their age, but mostly with pride for all that they have accomplished. I know that you are ready for your next adventure. I can see your impatience and eagerness to get going with the next project and to move on further and further along on your journey. Yes, we have designed this lifetime together, you and I, to be an exciting and exhilarating journey, a life that is full of wonder and joy, a lifetime when you break through the shackles of the imprisonment of the human mind and then to step into the freedom of your beautiful heart and love. And this is what you are doing. This is what my son, Jesus, has been talking about. And this is what we have been sending to all of you through different books, channels, songs, and other forms of messages. You find your freedom. Yes, you may say you have arrived home at last, that you have ascended while being in this wonderful physical vessel. It matters not how you call this process of expansion. What matters the most is that you have found your lightness and direction at last. And even if you still won't be able to see everything that is happening around thee, and there are so many reasons for this, and you know that the only way to continue on this journey is to follow the love and truth of your heart. You have matured a great deal indeed, my sweet Annis, and that means you understand who you are, you understand the universal laws, you see how important it is to flow only with the grace of love and to let go of any remnant doubts and worries. You can finally perceive with clarity how far your energy field and love can reach out there. You can see the positive uplifting effects of your loving thoughts on your own body, on your home and family, and let me reassure you, on everyone that is connected to thee, even if they live thousands of miles away. Your eyes are glowing and laughing, your singing hearts are open and beaming with love. Your step and walk is light and full of joy. And to see you this way, my sweet Annis, it is indeed the fulfillment of my dream. And I thank you and embrace you with my infinite love and gratitude. The rest of my dream, bringing everyone along with the thee and together building Nova Earth, will be following shortly. Well done, dear hearts, well done. Go in peace and love. Farewell.
Beloved Masters, you are a facet of the Creator's Spirit essence, an individualized God seed atom. It is your I am consciousness with an inborn desire to express and create. The word spiritual does not refer to religion or religious dogma. It is a focus on the advancement from a present state of being, physical, emotional, mental, intuitional, and social. It entails a refinement of the human instinctual nature into an evolved spiritual/human being ready to move into the rarefied environment of the fifth dimension. Enfoldment within higher consciousness results in a new state of awareness, which leads to new experiences, greater abilities, and additional talents. Self-realization is the goal of today's advanced souls. It is vitally important that you learn to direct your personal stream of consciousness. The ego-desire mind meanders down through the labyrinth of the subconscious mind, following the strongest patterns of the illusional past, or randomly selecting bits and snippets of painful or stressful events, which are strong enough to leave a lasting thought form. Controlling your moment-to-moment mind chatter is an integral component in gaining mastery of self. In order to become a rational thinker with a clear mind, you must become an observer or a monitor of the mind's thought processes. Your soul self within the third and fourth dimensions is a sacred triad fragment merging with matter in order to experience the multiple densities of creation. The soul's primary motive is to infuse its host's personality with its portion of God essence. Its goal and greatest desire are to serve through repeated cycles of self-expressed individuality, with periodic impulses to again ascend into spirit form, while retaining wisdom from a vast array of cosmic experiences. Each sacred triad was diminished in light quotient as it moved further out into the void and the density of creation. The beginning, fifth dimensional stage of awareness, the densest, first sub-level will initiate a focus on the mental body and the integration of divine will. Specific evolutionary laws apply on each subplane as well as on each full plane of consciousness. As you move into the vibrational patterns of the fifth dimension, your cells, etheric body, and auric field will begin an accelerated purification process. This process will facilitate, and will ultimately result in the downloading of the many facets of your higher self, and the beginning phase of reclaiming your higher frequency light body. Tranquility begins in the lowest level of the fifth dimension and strengthens exponentially. Gaining godly power and wisdom requires that you move beyond conditioned consciousness into attunement with your cosmic consciousness via the many facets of your higher self. Emotional stability and mental effort are required in order to successfully traverse the path of illumination. There is a law of equilibrium that applies within the fifth dimensional realms and above. Briefly, the sixth dimension is the dimension in which you will truly realize that you are immortal. You will embody a greatly expanded consciousness of the divine plan as you gradually reconnect with some of the more powerful levels of your sacred triads within this sub-universe. The seventh dimension is the final evolutionary boundary for human embodiment within this sub-universal experience. You will have a definite form, however, it will be gossamer and malleable. The first sub-level, the lowest in frequency, of the eighth dimension is the infinity gateway. You will be able to tap into many of its benefits as you gain the ability to integrate more and more of the higher frequencies. A trickle-down effect is initiated as you gain the ability to access each higher frequency level, whereby minuscule amounts of more refined God light begin to flow into your personal column of light, thus adding light to your auric field and vibrancy to your soul song. The full, radiant body of the soul, upon its home plane level, the seventh plane of the fourth dimension, was given the title the higher causal body by the ancient masters. As you become multidimensional, your perception of time becomes more fluid, and the concepts registered by your brain will be more complex and accurate. You are gradually developing control over and a continuity of consciousness, which will result in a clearer and truer spiritual perception. In order to develop your extrasensory abilities, it is of vital importance that you be willing to spend time not only in meditation and contemplation, but in silence. One of the first steps in gaining self-awareness is controlling and silencing the constant mind chatter of the lower conscious mind. At the completion of overcoming all the challenges and tests of the third and fourth dimensions, the aspiring soul faces the final barriers leading to the entry, the first sub-level, of the fifth dimension. All of the soul fragments within the fourth dimension will have been cleansed, balanced, and integrated into the entity's four lower bodily systems. As a result, the seeker becomes a harmonized, balanced, soul-infused personality. The causal body sphere, which initially contained all of the original soul fragments sent forth into the third/fourth dimensions of this sub-universe, is now drawn back up into the fifth dimensional, first sub-level sacred triad, from which it originated. It is now no longer needed, for the soul-infused personality, now a spiritual/human being, is ready to unite directly with its fifth dimensional sacred triad. This sacred triad is the next higher facet of its original God seed atom within this sub-universal experience. The harmonized, fourth dimensional emotional realm is now ready to integrate with the first subplane of the fifth dimensional mental realm, which opens up a whole new world of experience and learning. For those who have not embraced the three godly qualities of divine will, divine love, and divine intuitive intelligence, it is impossible to comprehend the wonder of the future. Your consciousness refines itself as you progress in spiritual awareness, and you also develop an acute awareness and sensitivity as the vibrations and rhythms of sacred love well up within your sacred heart. Sacred love is the key which opens the doorway to the next level of higher evolution. As a soul-infused personality, you will become an earthly solar angel, a radiant son of God. Many years ago, we explained to you, there are pyramids of light stationed within every dimension and subdimension throughout this sub-universe. Some are great storehouses of cosmic light substance, which are used in the creation of star systems, galaxies, and solar systems. There are also innumerable, smaller pyramids of light, which contain an etheric replica of all the God spark fragments you have created on your journey into density. As you journeyed down through the multi-dimensions within this sub-universe, you refracted yourselves into smaller and smaller God seed fragments. From the base level of the fifth dimension throughout all of the sub-dimensional realms up to the dimensional level in which your God seed atom, I Am Presence, resides, you have a sacred triad within a pyramid of light, awaiting your return. As you traverse the sub-levels of the fifth dimension, there is a sacred triad stationed within each of the 7 sub-dimensional levels, each one diminished in size and light power from the one above. All of the sacred triads were sent forth directly from within the heart core of your God seed atom, and they have been stationed within every sub/full dimensional level, all the way down to the lowest, first subplane of the fifth dimension. In order to gain access to and connect with the higher mental body, you must strive to stay centered within the sacred heart. This process can only be initiated once you have a firm control over your physical emotional body. The conscious mind must have periods of silence in order to attune to the subtle whispers of the soul and your higher self. You will attain peace of mind by consciously breathing through the sacred heart, the infinity breath, which becomes a natural way of breathing once you establish the infinity pattern within your physical vessel, and practice the technique until it becomes a habit. It is vitally important that you learn to breathe mindfully. Through the process of focused breathing, by following the path of the breath, you will gradually become aware of the different parts of your body. Your body elemental signals of discomfort or dis-ease are very subtle at first. If you do not heed these signals, they will gradually evolve into pain or possibly a serious illness. We have often said that moving out of your comfort zone in the collective consciousness belief structure is a very courageous thing to do. Bravely going forth to seek and live your own truth is the first step in taking back your personal power. As you release the shackles of the past, and come to the understanding that you are in control of your future, you begin the process of awakening to your potential as a master CO creator. As you gain wisdom, and begin to enjoy the positive results of your endeavors, you begin to trust yourself and your judgment. Your multi-sensory perception expands and becomes stronger, and you learn to view both the positive and negative results of your choices from a higher vantage point, thereby gradually learning to make decisions from a heart-centered point of view. The process of ascending into the higher dimensional realms of greater light requires that you strive to unify your earthly consciousness with each higher vibrational level of God consciousness. The grand plan was designed so that your re-entry into the higher realms would be accomplished through the integration of the white fire seed atoms stored within the diamond core God cell of each more advanced facet of your higher self. One by one, step by step, you are integrating the willpower, the wisdom, the attributes and qualities of each vaster facet of your oversoul. How quickly and easily you accomplish this is up to you, for you were
Shaping
given the gift of free
galaxies.
will,
I've been trying
which
so
is an
hard.
important component within the grand
I'm trying
design
in
for this
today.
sub-universal experience. Every facet of creator consciousness in this sub-universe has experienced soul-body fragmentation, and every soul, at every level and station of beingness, is now in the process of healing and reuniting with the many facets of itself. You will integrate as many facets of self as is humanly possible while in your present physical vessel, and the process will continue as you traverse the higher realms of existence. You are biocomputers with harmonic resonance. Each of you is a complex vibratory being. You have become accustomed to the slower, denser energy of the third/fourth dimensions. However, you are in the process of balancing, harmonizing and lifting the resonance of your force field in order to ascend into a more refined, higher dimensional state of being. You must remember that you are a unique facet of the Creator, and you should treasure your uniqueness as you strive to return to the oneness of your divine self. Remember, as you lift your consciousness and return to harmony within, you will radiate forth more refined frequency patterns, and therefore, you will attract to you those who are embodying and radiating the same harmonic light patterns. The reunification process entails rejoining multiple facets of self as well as reuniting with many members of your closest soul companions on the journey. The ascension process is a time of reunion at many levels of God consciousness. Remember, we are only a heartbeat and a thought away. We enfold you in the radiant sacred love of our Father/Mother God. I am Archangel Michael.
Hello, my special friends. 2nd of April is Palm Sunday, which is the beginning of what is called Holy Week by many Christian religions. No matter what your spiritual or religious affiliations, our Holy Week is a very powerful opportunity for all of us. We are one, and when billions of people around the world focus on God and the spiritual traditions, it creates a significant collective cup of consciousness, literally a holy grail. This provides our Father, Mother God, and the company of heaven with the ability to greatly intensify their infinite light on earth, thus blessing every facet of life. We are still experiencing the influx of light from the March equinox and the birth of spring in the northern hemisphere, which is celebrated by people around the world. Now on Thursday, 6th of April, we will be blessed with the Passover full moon, which is acknowledged by both Jews and Christians. Then on Easter Sunday, 9th of April, billions of people will focus on the resurrection of Jesus and the divine gift of the resurrection flame. Because of our Father Mother God's newly balanced and elevated masculine and feminine holy breath, which is now flowing through every person's heart flame with every single breath we take. Humanity's spiritual focus of attention this week has formed an extraordinarily powerful chalice of light. Through this collective cup of humanity's consciousness, our godparents are now encoding into every newly balanced and elevated holy breath we take a divine intelligence that is capable of discerning and revealing to each of us the experiences, beliefs, attitudes, feelings. This divine intelligence is exposing the illusion of our separation from God and any of our beliefs or actions that reflect the lack of reverence for all life. Now, as this divine intelligence within the holy breath of our Father, Mother God registers in every person's conscious mind, we are beginning to truly know that every human being is divine, regardless of how far his or her behavior patterns, and life experiences may be from reflecting the truth. This is a vitally important realization in humanity's resurrection and ascension process. Our thoughts and feelings are creative, and whatever we focus our attention on, we empower and bring into form. Divine intelligence that is now being encoded within every person's holy breath during Holy Week is providing our Father, Mother God, and the mighty solar archangel known as the Angel of Resurrection with the ability to enlighten humanity and to intensify the frequencies of the mother of pearl resurrection flame that are now bathing the earth. The frequency of the sacred fire is being amplified beyond anything humanity has ever been able to assimilate at the cellular level. Focus your attention and you will experience the profound truth that our Father, Mother God, and the Angel of Resurrection are now breathing this awesome restorative and rejuvenating frequency of the resurrection flame through our heart flames, breath by breath. This sacred fire is simultaneously being infused into our planetary grid of comprehensive divine love for the benefit of all humanity, the elemental kingdom, and Mother Earth. Today, the company of heaven wants all of us to have a greater understanding of this incredibly merciful gift from our Father, Mother God. Please read these words with an open heart and mind. This is the miracle of the resurrection flame. Years ago, when the sons and daughters of God began experimenting with our gift of life and departed from the love-based qualification of our creative faculties of thought and feeling, our Father Mother God perceived the shadow of our miscreations taking form in the consciousness of our earthly bodies. They further understood that some means of restoration would have to be provided to the children of earth who would one day desire to return to our original God state. To begin the process of manifesting the restorative power, our Father, Mother God breathed into their heart flames from the very core of creation the radiance of Mother of Pearl resurrection flame. When all was in readiness, our Father, Mighty God summoned the mighty solar archangel from a great silence to bring this sacred restoring flame to earth. Through the heart flame of this mighty archangel, who is now known through all creation as the angel of resurrection, the mother of pearl resurrection flame was anchored on earth. From this moment forth, the angel of resurrection has accepted the responsibility of bathing the earth in the resurrection flame in a rhythmic momentum. This sacred fire flows through the portal formed during the March equinox every year and bathes the earth for several weeks. In the northern hemisphere, the resurrection flame is the frequency of light that awakens the hibernating animals and brings the plants and trees back to life after the dormant winter months. What the company of heaven wants us to remember today is how the resurrection flame can assist each of us during this global opportunity of the divine alchemy of transfiguring our own carbon-based planetary bodies into third-dimensional crystalline-based solar light bodies. Jesus' resurrection was a deliberate demonstration of what occurs when our carbon-based third and fourth dimensional bodies are transfigured into fifth dimensional crystalline-based solar light bodies. Jesus appeared to Mary in his fifth dimensional crystalline solar light body. 40 days after Jesus' resurrection into his fifth dimensional crystalline solar light body, he demonstrated that the next step of our ascension process is going to be by publicly ascending up the spiral of evolution into the fifth dimensional realms of light. This is the same path that humanity and Mother Earth are now in the process of completing as we move through the final stages of our ascension onto the fifth dimensional new Earth. Nevertheless, he was determined to leave those archetypes so that, in divine timing, the company of heaven would be able to reveal to humanity the true meaning of the divine alchemy we were destined to experience after the shift of the ages. Our process is slower than what Jesus experienced because instead of one person resurrecting the carbon-based bodies and ascending into the fifth dimension, this time every person on this planet, the elemental kingdom, and Mother Earth herself are going through this divine alchemy. Our ion presence is actually accelerating this process the maximum that we can withstand in every 24-hour period. That means quite literally that day by day, as we resurrect our carbon-based bodies and ascend into higher frequencies of the fifth dimension, we are taking Mother Earth and all life evolving upon her with us. This is a tremendous responsibility for every son and daughter of God on earth, but what a glorious opportunity for each and every one of us to be the instruments of God we've been preparing to be for a lifetime. Due to the urgent need of the hour, our Father Mother God granted the angel of resurrection permission to breathe unprecedented frequencies of the Mother of Hero resurrection flame into our planetary grid of comprehensive divine love. This monumental amplification of the resurrection flame is quickening the vibratory rate of humanity's, the elemental kingdoms, and Mother Earth's contaminated carbon-based cells. This is allowing our iron presence to greatly expand the crystalline white flame of purity, pulsating within the core of purity in every electron of our earthly bodies. Breath by breath, the flame of purity is now expanding within the 50 trillion cells in our earthly bodies and the 100 trillion atoms within each cell. Our iron presences, our silent watchers, and our body elementals are now able to cast the gross shadows, cloaking the electrons in our carbon-based bodies into the violet flame. Instantaneously, these shadows are being transmuted back into their original perfection. This is clearing the way for each of ourselves to be resurrected, so that they can safely assimilate the full divine potential of God's fifth dimensional crystalline solar light. Day by day, as we invoke and freely partake of the gifts and blessings of the resurrection flame, we avail ourselves of its restorative and rejuvenating power. By stating the following decree on a regular basis, each of us will greatly accelerate the divine alchemy taking place within our earthly bodies. Please listen to your heart and recite this decree as often as you are inspired to do so. It is a gift from on high that has been building momentum for millennia. I am the resurrection and the life. I am the resurrection and the life of the immaculate concept of humanities, the elemental kingdoms, and Mother Earth, filled dimensional crystalline solar light bodies, and made manifest and sustained through the holy breath of God. And so it is, dear one, I wish you a glorious Holy Week. Ask your I presence and the angel of resurrection for assistance during this amazing time, and the floodgates of heaven will open on your behalf.
I know what this is. Let's see what you want.
The Octurian Group, New Earth. Dear readers, welcome to the New Earth. New Earth, you say, where is it? Enlightened ideas and the changes that follow them must first enter individual awareness and integrate before they can become a state of consciousness able to manifest outwardly. Not understanding this is why so many have become discouraged as they observe chaos and believe that nothing is happening. The integration process has been taking place on personal and global levels for some time and is now beginning to manifest outwardly. Remember, there is no unexpressed consciousness. Ascension is not a sudden flash wherein everything is suddenly different. This does occasionally happen with certain individuals who are well prepared, but in general evolution is a process, one that you are well into now. The third dimension functions in linear time, and so events are unfolding in sequence as collective consciousness becomes more enlightened. Each day more awaken and recognize that many commonly accepted world beliefs are obsolete and false. This is what will usher in the new. Trust that everything is exactly where it needs to be at all times, dear ones. Your job is to hold the light of truth within and see the light without in spite of appearances. We wish once again to speak of love. We have spoken of love and its many disguises in other messages, but it bears repeating because love is the core reality holding everything together as one. Every discord or disharmony experienced throughout time globally and personally is and always has been the expression of beliefs in separation from self, God, others, animals, plants, and any and all life forms. There is not now, never has been, and never can be separation from the one except as a concept held in unawakened minds. There is only one substance, one law, one reality, and one source from which all things are formed, omnipresent, omnipotent, and omniscient divine consciousness. You cannot make something out of nothing. How individuals interpret this depends on the level of their awareness and personal belief system, which will manifest as their life experiences. You may say, yes, but what about those who are very evolved and have painful and devastating experiences? These dear ones have chosen to be right where they are learning, growing, releasing old programming, honoring their soul contract, and fine-tuning everything in order to be ready for their next and higher level of awareness. Because of the powerful light energies now on and flowing to Earth, many evolved souls chose to come and make these times their wrapping up all remaining old stuff lifetime, which may appear to human eyes as a series of failures. Never judge another's life experiences. Many are angels in disguise even to themselves. There is an energy connecting all life forms because in reality they are all simply individual expressions of the One. This connecting energy is called love. However, when interpreted through an unevolved state of consciousness, one that is fully immersed in beliefs of duality and separation, the manifestations appear as war, rape, abuse, etc. The One has not and can never change. It is the unawakened mind's false interpretations that are manifesting. Many continue to ask, how could God allow these things? God knows nothing about these things. They exist only in the conditioned minds of the hypnotized unawakened. If these things, disease, war, violence against others and animals, were embraced within divine mind, they would remain in place forever, held by divine law. The negative situations you see in the world are the manifestations of collective ignorance, false interpretations of reality, truth, and oneness. You are creators. The time has arrived in which all serious students of truth must be alert to thoughts of judgment, criticism, and separation about themselves and others that are so easy to allow in at this time. Know that random thoughts are always impersonal, floating about and available in universal three-dimensional consciousness until personally claimed as yours. Utilize the thoughts that seem to continually bombard your thinking as tools directing you to remaining false beliefs and concepts still being held. Energy always seeks to align with like energy oneness. Repeating thoughts are simply doing their thing, drawn to and aligning with like energy. Example: a person who has experienced lifetimes of disease and illness will automatically draw to themselves energies regarding disease, current information, symptoms, etc. Anything floating about in universal human consciousness regarding illness and disease until they are able to clear this old programming. They won't accept everything, but the temptation and attraction continues as long as there is energy alignment. This is true for all types of energy carried by individuals. Becoming more aware of judgment and criticism does not mean that you accept, condone, or go along with the nefarious actions of others. Rather, we speak of a state of consciousness that silently and secretly acknowledges the true identity of all, no matter how little they may reflect it. It is a state of consciousness able to recognize that behind another's bluster, ignorance, or even violence, there is a divine consciousness awaiting recognition. It is imperative not to leave yourselves out of this recognition. As powerful energies of light surface and expose global issues, they reveal personal ones as well. This is causing many serious students of truth to experience remorse, regret, and guilt as actions of the past are examined with new awareness. Leaving yourself out of oneness will keep you locked in duality. Never deny, resist, or try to hide from actions of the past, but rather acknowledge them as necessary parts of your learning experience. If there are actions of love you are guided to take with regard to some past action or words, then take the steps. But if this is not possible, bless the other with light, forgiving them as well as yourself, and then move on. Release the idea that evolution must be a struggle, one in which you must seek to continually overcome and resist the facets of yourself you do not like or consider to be non-spiritual. Attempts to squash the ego represent old religious programming in which some things were considered spiritual and other things were not. Everything is spiritual because there is nothing else. It is only limited awareness that judges them as separate. As you do the inner work, learning to recognize and accept the reality of who you and everyone else is, the shadows created by your old state of consciousness will automatically and without conscious effort simply drop away, because the only reality they ever had in the first place was that with which you ignorantly endowed them. Gather together the physical, emotional, mental, and spiritual shadow parts of yourself in a loving embrace of oneness and love. Once you are able to do this without struggle or resistance, you will find that others suffering from self-loathing are drawn to your energy of self-acceptance and love. You will be prepared to offer the light of your attained state of consciousness rather than sympathetic words. Because Earth is a planet of free will, everyone is free to ignore truth for as long as they wish or need to. Evolving in three-dimensional energy is about learning through experience, and there are many in need of more experiences before they will be ready for more. This is why there must be jails, rules, and laws in the third dimension. These things do not exist in the higher dimensions. Evolved individuals doing this type of work, police, military, lawyers, and leaders, can do whatever needs to be done, but will discover that if they silently and secretly work from levels of oneness love rather than from commonly accepted beliefs of separation, the situations will result in the highest good for all involved. Awake and spiritually evolved individuals are not afraid to speak their truth or to take necessary action when intuitively guided. Living unconditional love never means being the doormat of another, which in reality represents an absence of self-love. Rather, it is an individual who has reclaimed their innate power, integrated their masculine and feminine aspects, and is not afraid to step forward and stand for what they intuitively know is right from a position of love. Unconditional love is very different from the concepts of love that remain alive and well in third-dimensional thinking. Living from a place of unconditional love may occasionally take the form of allowing another to fall flat on their face rather than continuing to rescue them from their own creations. Earth is a school of experience in which you who are awake are becoming observers, lovingly allowing others to learn in whatever ways they need, while at the same time being available should they reach out for real help. Evolving through experiences over lifetimes is not for the faint-hearted and has often been extremely difficult. However, as you learn to rest in God alone is power, every facet of living will begin to unfold harmoniously in ways that you could not have planned with third-dimensional thinking. As you let go of concepts of love based in ideas of separation, you make room for real love experiences that flow out from oneness. Love is the reality that underlies and connects all things, and is what those who thrive and benefit from separation do not wish you to know. Live truth and allow everything else to simply drop away. We are the Arcturian group.
Oh my gosh.
What?
Sometimes I just can't sit through all that. I got these really cool shawls out of the trash. They're even a bag and clean. Super crazy. College kids, they throw away everything, or they forget things, or I got like an orange one. I read another one that's got like a collar. It's so freaking cute. And I'm freezing to death because I spilled acetone all over the place. So I had to open up all the windows so I don't get all high. I think I'm a little giddy. But, doing sigils on the coasters. They didn't do too bad. Oh gosh, this was funny. Let me finish those. That's all I did. That's how I deal with me and my ADD. And there's a really awesome artist. And Yeah, I said, I've got so many paintings here. And he's like, TJ, this is part of your process. Oh my gosh, now I probably have, I don't know, I did actually go through a shitball and finish. That was like my Fuck Fear series. Um, a lot of these ones that I'm starting now are a family named Unity. Um, that's the series I'm working on now. So I've started quite a few. It's fucking great. I like it. I like hopping back and forth because if I don't, I just totally fuck shit up real bad. Ooh, sounds like somebody's got hit. No, I was in a really busy room. I went and got it. But I feel like I'm gonna go try to be human. I'm not very good at getting out of the house these days. So I got to prepare for that, get my ass in the car, go to the fucking store. It's not that big of a deal. I don't know. I feel like I'm absorbing and took a lot for me to not hear it all. Like sometimes I walk into a store and it's just freaking like chatter, and a lot of it's not very good. Um, so I go act a hot mess in Walmart, try to make somebody smile, I guess. Oh my god. The kids like me. That's all that matters. They like me. The parents don't like it that I stop and get the kids all riled up and talking because then they're stuck in the aisle with me. But it's alright. I'm gonna go be human, try to get some food. I got some food money today, so that's fucking awesome. I was so hungry last night, I was mad. But awesome. I love you fuckers. If anybody's out there watching.